and you're listening to All That Matters with
Pamela Wistrom
and Adam Wagner. So we're here on All That Matters with Pamela Wistrom and my friend Jenny May, and our special guest today, Vernon Mahabal, who is a
astrological palmist.
An astrological palmist,
Wow.
which is fascinating because that's something, when you say that, I don't think of astrologer, I don't think of palmist. I'm like, tell me more about what that is.
I'm a little skeptical with all this because I've never went to a psychic or had my palm read or anything.
And I was skeptical too before I met Vernon because I had a bad experience with a psychic in another country, and we talked about that on episode 1. And then my friend Jenny's here, and she say hi, Jenny.
Hi.
And Jenny's seen. I think you
I've seen a palmist once for just a couple of minutes, and it was pretty accurate. But
fascinating. So,
and you know what it could be? Maybe
that's a good thing. That's a rare thing. I'm glad to hear that.
And see, maybe
because I hear horror stories all the time.
yeah, but I mean, sometimes we have horrible lives, so it's people don't want to hear stuff like that.
Right, and maybe it's not that I'm skeptical, I just never have had this done.
Yeah, and what's interesting is we were talking just before we hit record. We had a lot of good stuff come out, and one of the things we're talking about was Vernon mentioned you've worked with celebrities, musicians, people in government, and some of them, they want to see you for your help, but they don't always want to acknowledge it publicly. Is that right?
Absolutely. You'll find that more in Europe or in a country like Japan or China. As I was saying before, people will sometimes have a public career and they'll tell their colleagues, and I just got a reading this morning, or I went to my palmist this morning and asked him or her that.
Any names that you know is okay to say? Any names you can actually tell us?
That I read
that
for?
That you're allowed to say, or that anyone that said, yeah, you're welcome to tell people that you read
off
for
the
me.
air.
Off the air. Okay, interesting. No, that's fine. That's fascinating.
Now, of course, if this was China or Britain or something, then I would do it. It's a kind of like a client type of.
I had a celebrity musician in my car a while back, and we found out that you had read for that man a long time ago.
Oh, interesting.
Remember we talked about that?
Yes,
we don't say his name, but...
No, I mean, this situation that just came up with me, Lemmy passed away.
Oh, yeah, Lemmy did.
And one of his guitarists called me and said, should I, offer my services? Because right before Lemmy passed away, this guitarist got really, really sick. So I think I forgot his name, but
he was a guitarist in the band.
He was a guitarist in the band, and he got really sick in London, and the Motorhead couldn't continue.
Wow!
And then Lemmy passed away after that, so now the band's finished. But I was consulted by one of his guitarists who kind of was on standby.
Okay.
And that kind of thing happens to me. Should I get in touch with them? Should I do the show? That kind of thing too. So
interesting.
So would you use the person's palm?
Yes, I have. People will send me their palms through the email, or through their iPad.
Just an image of the palm.
That's all I need. Yeah.
So you need to be able to see the lines clearly. And
yeah, especially with today's technology, with your iPhone, you can just take a quick picture, and then that's how I look at a lot of people like celebrities too. I just look at their the National Enquirer and the Globe, and my son is always like, why do you read those things? It's not because of the gossip. I want the hands. I want to see people's hands. So it's like if Angelina Jolie is not my client, I can still see what's going on in her life.
Wow.
They're always the celebrities are always waving. They're always they're always
hilarious.
The politicians are always going down a plane and waving.
And waving at somebody. So you see their hand up in on the image of the newspaper.
It's the easiest thing for someone like me. And that's what an astrologer can't do. That's why a palmist is in a better position, because they need to know the birth time, 6:03 a.m., and, where they were born, Bridgeton, New Jersey or something. I just need to see the hand.
Interesting.
Just a certain hand? Excuse me. A certain hand, or do you look at both?
I would prefer to look at both, but I can do everything from one or two, but one hand really. No. So much is on there. Yeah. basically the right hand is the left brain, so it's the outer world. So I'm at an advantage because most people wave with their right hand, and that's where all the career stuff is.
Interesting.
And the inner self is on the left hand, and whoever waves with their left hand, So therefore, I need to see sometimes the left hand to get the more gossipy stuff.
No, this is fascinating. It's not like something where like scientists can quantify. Like I measure, okay, you have an inch here, but what you're doing is more intuitive, right? You're not looking.
Well, that's a good question, Adam, because as I was telling you before, I look at the planets, I look at the houses, I look at the signs. There's 12 planets, there's 12 signs, there's 12 houses, and there's 128 fixed stars. There's all kinds of what they call in Vedic astrologies. There's the nakshatras. There's a million things to look at. So I look at the hard science of astrology. Astrology is a science, but then I use my intuition to read around the planets, if you will, to see what's actually going on. Like, for instance, if I can tell, for instance, if like Mercury's in a particular house, I know someone's going to, let's say, take a trip, and then I'll use my intuition and say, okay, well, you're going to go to India, or you're going to go to Machu Picchu. See what I mean? The astrology won't necessarily say you're going to go to Machu Picchu, but it might get you close to, let's say, South America. But your intuition can actually come up with, hey, Guatemala or Machu Picchu or something like that. So I use my intuition to read around the planets. But the most important thing is that, to me, astrology is a hard science. It's a true science.
Wow.
And so if someone is just using intuition, like the tarot cards or they're psychic or whatever, it's just, who knows if they're going to come up with the right answer.
Now, I don't want to diss a tarot card reader, but that seems like it's so much just up to chance to me, like they're shuffling a deck and then pulling a card out.
Well, I agree with you. It is up to chance.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, if they throw cards for you, the point is that the best psychics are the ones who don't use the cards. That's a secret.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a trade secret.
I don't want to say gimmick, but the word gimmick almost comes to mind.
Well, the thing is, the cards are a book of knowledge. They're a book of ancient esoteric knowledge. But I feel that the best psychics are the ones that actually don't use the tarot cards. What I do is more astrological.
So we're going to have Vernon do a reading for Pam over the podcast. Is that okay, Vernon?
Well, what I'd like to do is it'll be a bunch of
quiet
dead
moment to
air
do it.
for a bit,
exactly.
and then I'll tell you what if you want to do it like that.
No dead air. We're just going to jump in. So,
but for every action, Newton's law is that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Mm-hmm. So if you
equal and opposite, it can be you put out the negative.
This is why this whole thing about the $1 billion lottery. It's people don't understand that actually nobody could just win the lottery arbitrarily.
Oh, this is fascinating. Tell me
because the thing is that if someone was whoever wins a lottery, it means that the state is giving back that money from a previous lifetime. For instance, if somebody opened a hospital, or they were a big philanthropist, or they fed people, or they gave money to good programs, planting trees or whatever it was, then the state has to, by karmic energies, return that in the next life.
Wow.
You see? So nothing is arbitrary. If somebody just wins money, it's because, or gets a legacy. For instance, if someone gets a legacy from their parent or aunt or uncle, it's because that person shared so much with their uncle or their aunt or their family in the previous life. So they're just getting it back. So nothing's arbitrary. Nothing's by chance.
Well, I want to go back to astrology when you were talking about that, because I've heard astrology, it goes around pretty much like a reincarnation where Aries starts as the infant, and it goes around to Pisces as the elderly. So would that be something like correlated to, if this life, I lived a life as an Aries, and
sure.
I did all of these wonderful things.
I don't agree. I've heard that theory before, and not to say that what you're saying is wrong, but I don't agree with that. What I see is that according... The planets don't impel anything. They just allow things to go on. They're like doorways. So, for instance, let's say in this lifetime you love to play the piano, and you're constantly dreaming, "Hey, I want to be a big pianist.
That's
I want to
me.
be a big pianist."
That's what me. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like me. I'm getting the piano in my head. I don't know why, but like the whole idea is that, let's say you play around in different church groups or like bars or whatever. You make a little bit of a living at it, but at the time of death, whatever you think about or whatever you're attached to, you become.
At the time of death?
At the time of death, yeah. When you always hear about this spool of film going through your mind. Well, whatever you're most attached to, whatever you want to accomplish, and the planets,
a magical fire-breathing dragon.
Well, the planets.
No,
there's two things. There's two things that go on. It's called in Sanskrit. It's called in Sanskrit yukta and vairagya.
Wow.
And yukta and vairagya means that you get what you deserve and you get what you desire. So we do things, for instance, that we may take some money from other people, and in that lifetime, the next lifetime, they take it from us.
I'm guilty of that.
Or if we give something to others, it comes back to us. Mm-hmm. Well, in the same way, whatever you're most attached to, you take on that. So let's say you want to
Oh, it's like you become what you think about. It's a logic from
so in your next life you may become a world famous pianist, and you may be like a Van Cliburn or something like that. Van Cliburn's chart is he's been a pianist for 7 lifetimes.
What?
I'll
claim that.
You see what I mean?
I love music.
So life is a continuum. In the Vedic view, they call this a transmigration of the soul. They don't call it reincarnation. They call it transmigration of the soul. For instance, I'm going to put you on the spot. How old are you right now?
44.
Okay. So what happened to the body you had when you were 10 years old?
What do you mean?
Where's the body when you were 10?
I mean, I still have it.
Like all the cells have changed,
Yeah.
you mean?
Where it's gone? What happened to the body you had when you were 15?
Oh, like why don't we just stay looking young all the time? Why don't we just?
In other words, we're not this body.
Oh yeah, because it's constantly changing.
The soul is transmigrating even in this body.
Right.
When you're 60, you're going to look a little bit different than you are now.
Right. You're not your body. You're not.
Right.
You're not your name.
We're not our body.
Like, I'm not really.
We're always changing.
This is not you. This is skin and blood and bones. What's in you is what's actually real is the soul within your heart.
Right.
The soul is transcendental to anything material.
Right.
It's in the core of the heart, and death is simply a change of body. Just like if you crash your car, you're just going to buy another one. Are you the car? No. You're just the driver of the car. So you may have 3 cars. One day you may get into your Mercedes, another day it's your Ford, another day it's a Dodge. You're the driver of the car. Mercedes. You don't become the car. So the whole mistake of modern Western civilization is that from day one we're taught that we are the body. We're not the body. We're spiritual soul.
Right. And that's what we call you. We say that about me or whatever. Yeah.
And that's what we talked about last week. Well, for me, everyone's different on the planet, but for me, a beautiful soul is more attractive than big muscles and 6 foot tall and all that stuff.
So it's like when I get a cut.
To me, I look at the soul as being attractive.
Yeah.
Like that's what I find
what you're attracted to is somebody's consciousness, and ultimately what you're attracted to is their soul nature. So the symptom of the soul is consciousness.
Right.
Yeah.
And that the symptom of consciousness is individuality.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is make our individualism love. And what you're attracted to, just like a flower, it's expressing its beauty.
Yes.
So beauty is love, and love is beauty. When people are attractive, it means they're beautiful. It's not just physical.
It's kind of empowering in a way.
See what I mean?
Like if a dog bites me, I don't have to say, that dog hurt me. I just say, that dog bit part of the body that I'm living in.
We're not this body. We're spiritual souls. We're Jivatma. We have nothing to do with this material world. We're just in it for a while.
What do you think about people that do the mind over matter thing and they can...
It's true.
They just don't feel the pain.
The mind is the most powerful tool that we have.
Yeah.
And the mind the body just follows the mind.
Yeah.
Those who are true magicians and true astrologers and true powerful people, devotees of God, are the most powerful people because their mind is powerful.
So speaking of the mind, we have a lot of homeless people and crazy homeless people, or just crazy people in general in Los Angeles. What do you think is going on in their mind?
In their previous life, they were rich, and they have to taste the results of what they did in their previous life.
Do you think? Oh, and all the people that they might have hurt or whatever.
Whatever you see in this life is an action reaction.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So if a child is born with a silver spoon in her mouth, let's say like Lindsay Lohan. I hope she's not listening.
Oh, well.
But anyway, she was
if
born
you're
with
out there, Lindsay, Pam loves you and I love you.
She was born with
everybody.
a silver spoon in her mouth.
She was.
She has everything.
In this life, she was.
Exactly.
Right.
So probably in her previous life,
did great.
She did, she was a philanthropist, she was humanitarian. Now, what she does with it...
Now it's up to her.
It's up to her.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
Well, now, I heard theories, though, like with the homeless people, like maybe letting demons submerge.
Well, every time you drink, you're like, have you ever seen people who are are drunk and they're talking to themselves, that's a ghost.
That's why you told me to avoid alcohol.
They're a ghost, yeah. That's a ghost inhabiting themselves. That's possession.
Yeah,
so ghosts, if you have a very...
No way.
The most powerful people are God consciousness. So someone like Christ could never be attacked by a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, Satan himself came to Jesus and he says, "Get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to you."
Yeah, right,
you know,
yeah.
Satan offered him the entire world. And Jesus said to him, you know, you conquer the whole world. You won't be happy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But he had a strong mind. So devotees of God have the strongest mind. But the thing is that drugs and over alcohol, what happens is that your mind becomes weak.
Well, yeah, the ancient word for it was
a
pharmakeia.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens is that that true mental energy will bring you God consciousness. When someone's really, really intelligent, they'll realize, hey, there is a God, and there is symmetry to everything.
Wonderful.
And there is nothing happens by chance. You see, and that's a powerful person. But people who are homeless now, it's because they have to taste the results of stuff that they did previously.
I can see that.
And people who are, just like someone born with a silver spoon in their mouth was a good person. Someone like I have a friend in New York. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I should. His name is Derek.
Yeah.
And Derek grew up without a father.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, look, you grew up without a father. Break the cycle.
Yeah.
And so he had a daughter, and he just is there for his daughter.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, his relationship with his ex, he broke up, but he's still there for her. And he broke the cycle. So in his next life, he doesn't have to suffer the results of an absent parent.
Amazing.
The people who suffer the results of an absent parent were themselves the absent parent. So we taste the results of what we do in this lifetime.
Sense. I understand
You
that.
see?
Yeah.
So there's nothing arbitrary. Nothing's by chance.
That means if I'm come back in another lifetime, I'm probably going to have an older brother or a sister that beats me up a little bit. I was really mean to my little brother sometimes. I'm supposed to be ready for that right now. Just be mentally prepared for whatever happens.
In other words, sometimes a homeless person, people will help. They'll give them even a house, an apartment, or
but sometimes
money.
They reject it too,
right? Because they're not allowed to take it by their karma.
Weird.
Or they misuse it, or they destroy it because their crippled-minded consciousness can't accept that. They don't know what to do with it because they did so much bad in their previous life that they can't accept goodness.
Wow.
So they have to taste difficulty and struggle.
It's all part of their low self-esteem.
It's part of going through suffering and difficulty because actually humility makes us better people.
So what's your opinion on human suffering?
We can't suffer even a pinprick more than what we're destined to.
Interesting.
And we can't enjoy even a little bit more than we're destined to.
That's like a Christian friend of mine who used to say, no one can hurt you without God's permission.
Exactly. I agree with the same thing.
So
but also, it's not just God's permission, it's also... It's also what we deserve and what we desire.
No, but I was wondering, I just wanted to get back to the palmistry. So is that the destiny that's written in our hands from that past life? Is that how that's
3, 4, 5 lifetimes sometimes.
Really?
in our palms?
Yeah.
And that is the blueprint that goes with it.
Yeah.
Great. So we've had. I'm so happy we've had so much time to talk with you, Vernon. And we're not done yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to have you take a look at Pam and see what we can see for Pam. So right now, Vernon has a specialized magnifying glass with a light, and he's taking a look at Pamela's right hand.
So I'll tell you what I see. If you have any questions, feedback, just jump right in. It doesn't throw me off at any.
Oh, okay.
I'm from New York, so nothing throws me off.
Okay.
In your previous lifetime, you didn't see a lot of security and stability around you. You didn't see a lot of... you saw a lot of people around you, especially your parents. This is your previous lifetime now. You saw a lot of instability, frivolousness, irresponsibility. Maybe people just, your parents or whatever, just lay down at the beach and didn't pay the rent. They were very undisciplined people. So after your 30s, you decided, hey, I have to organize my life. I have to structure my life. I'm going to be able to become successful if I just take the bull by the horns and I'm organized and I plan stuff and I structure stuff. And that's why in this lifetime you're so good at organization. You're an organizer. You're excellent at planning and structuring and organizing things. And you're also very good at, you're just a very practical person. If somebody gives you knowledge or information, you're thinking, okay, how do I apply this? How do I get this tangible? How do I do something with this? So you're a grounded person that way. Because in your previous life, there's a Sanskrit word called sanskar. Sanskar means a previous impression. So in your subconsciousness, you have this previous this impression of the fact that you're not materialistic, but you're goal-oriented.
Right.
You're ambitious so that you'll have a roof over your head.
Exactly.
And so subconsciously, whatever you think about or do in the conscious world, it all goes back into the subconscious of, okay, how can I make money from this? Or how can I utilize this? How can I do something tangible with it? It's not that you're materialistic, as I'm saying, but you want to do something to materialize it so that you can have money in the bank, a roof over your head, because you didn't experience this in your previous life. You experienced poverty.
Yes.
And so even in this life, your parents, there was a mirror. Some of the things that you experienced in this life growing up kind of ignited that sanskar from the previous life. When you see poverty, or when you see people who are frivolous or irresponsible or carefree or just relaxed, you're like, a light goes off and say, no, I can't be like this. So you are goal-oriented. And the reason you're goal-oriented and you want to achieve and accomplish things is because you want stability in your life. You want security. You want foundation in your life. You know how Woody Allen's on record for saying 90% of success is just showing up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you show up.
Yes.
And so you have these two very powerful aspects in your hand of, one, being able to plan and organize your life. You keep records, you keep a date book, you show up, and it also helps you become very efficient. Your ability to organize and plan gives you the ability to make things run smoothly and efficiently. You were the first person probably on your block to recycle stuff, because you know the value of, you're very resourceful.
That does sound like Pam.
It does. You
save everything, and you try to utilize everything. You hate waste. You'll even go to the supermarket with your bag, and you hate to take new bags. See,
is that true, Pam?
But that gives you an idea of what I'm talking about.
I mean, he's hit a lot on, as far as being organized. Like, I cannot function with discombobulation.
No, can't. Because that's what you saw in this life, in your previous life.
Right.
You just saw people who are frivolous and irresponsible and just careless and messy. So when you see that around you, it's like, I can't take it anymore.
Exactly.
So you have to have your desk. It has to be
very
organized
neat
and planned.
Yes.
And,
I mean, I was even telling Jenny May, I just have to have things neat and organized. Maybe I have OCD, but
no, it's not an OCD. It's something that makes you it makes you an efficiency expert. It makes you help things to run, and that's why you should work together.
Oh yeah,
because she's going to help you.
You told me
help you, make things run smoothly and efficiently.
Yeah, we did talk about that a while back.
You're very resourceful, and you help to make things run in a way that's just going to move forward.
So I need to listen to her ideas. So she's got a suggestion on how my life.
Listen to whatever she says.
Okay.
Aside from her,
of course.
In your career life, listen to her. In your private life, listen to her.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm really fascinated to know if you were feeling any impressions for her futures. Pam, if I can say this on air, you're going through a few little tough spots right now.
I am. Yeah, I'm going through some hard times right now.
Like Vernon mentioned, the roof over your head sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, because
that was right on the head, actually.
Right. I mean, I'm a single mom, and times are a little tough right now.
And our audience listening out there, Vernon and Pam had not met before today.
Never
had no idea.
Met him at all.
The only clue Vernon could have had about Pam is if he had heard our previous podcast.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I think you should be doing in life, and then I'll go back to what I think you should be doing this year. This is a very interesting, pivotal year for you. You have a daughter?
Son.
How young?
13.
Yeah, okay.
He just turned 13.
But you have one kid?
One child.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Is he a little bit kind of like in touch with his emotions and feelings a lot.
Or very emotional.
Yeah,
extremely.
That's
emotional.
why I got almost like he's very. He's not gay, but he's very in touch with his emotions and his feminine side.
He has a lot of girls
and he's
that like
definitely
him right
going to get into creative stuff. Like he, more than most boys, he's going to be able to talk to you about his feelings and emotions.
He is.
Most
right.
kids can't. I can't even.
Right. He's very well. I tell him, I said, Nevin, if you ever have anything you want to talk about, share it with me.
Yeah, he will be able to be
negative.
like that. Yeah.
Right.
He's even more Italian than you are in that regard. You're more British and he's more Italian. So he's helping you to bring out your emotions.
Right.
See, the thing is, sometimes in the relationships, sometimes you can hold back. You can be a bit emotionally reserved and self-contained. Mm-hmm. You're not. You sometimes you've gone through relationships where you felt uncomfortable to communicate. So
right.
your job, so to speak, is to communicate no matter what. If Adam says, "Hey, how are you feeling?" Don't say, "Oh, well, the weather's really good."
Oh, my friend Christy.
Don't do that.
My friend Christy McGinnis.
Tell him how you're feeling.
She's on Little Women in Los Angeles on that TV show. She's about this tall. She's one of the most assertive people you'll ever meet.
And that's what you need to do. You need to bring out your take the initiative more. Bring out your assertive.
Bring that out more.
Yeah. But it'll naturally come when you're connecting with people on an emotional level,
right.
and not an intellectual level.
Right.
Don't deal with people logical and don't deal with logic and the analytical world. Deal with emotions and feelings and gut feelings. Yeah,
right.
Do everything from your instincts and your intuition.
So what do you? Because I'm a Lyft driver and an actor. What do you think I should pursue my acting? Because that is a true love. Because my
you know what you're great at? Dancing and yoga.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
You should go to the gym every day or do yoga every day because it grounds you.
It grounds me.
You'll be able to focus everything. Did you used to run a lot too?
I used to.
Yeah,
I used to do aerobics.
Why don't you running?
You
are so fast.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I need to start running.
You can tell.
Stop.
You've been working a lot lately to try to pay
So
bills.
anyway, let me tell you something, Pam. The most important thing is that any kind of physical movement will ground you. And it will help you to focus on everything else that you have to do through the rest of the day. If you don't get into physical movement, if you don't work out, if you don't do yoga, if you don't run, you'll feel restless.
Right.
You'll feel like restless all the time.
Exactly.
But physical movement helps to make you feel peaceful and grounded.
Right.
And then you'll be a powerful woman. But you know where all your power comes from? Your emotions.
And I'm so emotional. And that's like with acting for me. When I'm releasing those emotions, it's like therapy for me.
Yeah, I know.
It's very good. So that's what I want to ask you, pursuing that in...
Dance.
Right.
Expression is everything. You could write it down, you could verbalize it, it doesn't matter, but you've got to express it. So my third thing to talk to you about is communications. You're great at communications. You're a writer, you can verbalize things, you're an excellent communicator. You have excellent communication skills.
Awesome, thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
You have excellent, and teaching has also interested you. You were an educator. You did teaching in your previous life. You were an educator. You did some type of teaching, and you were also kind of like a guidance counselor in your previous life. That's why you can work with people very well. You're like the local therapist.
Awesome.
Everybody comes to you with their feelings and their problems.
Interesting.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I've noticed you're very sympathetic. When you talk with me, you're
Yeah,
like, oh, Adam. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Right, I do.
Because she was the
people.
equivalent of like the high school or college guidance counselor. She taught classes. She's a teacher. You're an educator, but you're also a mentor and a guidance counselor.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this year, you just went into a new Saturn planetary period this year.
I did, yeah.
And so this is a good year to work hard. It's a year of hard work and effort. And it's a year to really... this is a very pivotal year to actually start your career and get it moving.
Did you have any questions for Vernon? Specific?
I'm trying to think. No, I mean...
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's interesting. It is. I mean, I do, as far as delegating things, I mean, I do care about people and I can communicate to people like on all levels. whether it is fighting.
Yeah, you have a natural understanding of human nature.
But the only weakness I do have is delegating what they should do. Because I mean, and I'm sure I would get to that
You have
point.
to be more assertive with
More
people.
assertive.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's what holds
So
you
I'd
back.
have to work on that.
Just be more assertive. But
Right.
that's why I'm saying you're more of the person that gets behind the scenes and work with people one-on-one. You're better at that. You're better at kind of like, hey, John, can you do this? Hey, Matilda, can you do that? It's more getting behind the
Right.
scenes and just getting in front of people in a large 200 group of people and like giving a lecture.
Right.
It's more about quietly being like a coach with people and putting your arms around people and saying, hey, come on, we can do this. You see what I mean?
Okay. So
You're more the quiet coordinator, but you're a coordinator nonetheless. You're a director of operations, but you can do that by one-on-one.
Do you think that less assertiveness maybe comes from your height? Like you're 4'11". Do you feel like maybe like, so they're bigger than me? I'm not going to be assertive. I don't mean to be prying too much, but do you
fine.
think, you know?
Yeah, because I am short. I mean, I'm as tall as a third grader, so that might be a factor.
Because I know if I was around people that were like almost like six, not twice my height, but like maybe 30-40% higher than I am, I wouldn't want to tell them what to do or be too assertive with them. Maybe
I
think that the
more and have a Hitler complex.
I think that the more you unlock your feelings, the more genuine you are with what's in here, bring it out.
That comes up next.
That you'll be confident in yourself.
Right.
You have to be emotional in your job. If you like lose your wallet, like who stole my wallet? Give it back to me now. You'll get it back. You'll get it back.
You know what I found
See,
too
your
is-
emotions are your power.
You know, it
your
is
emotions are
really
your power.
powerful. So I
Wow,
noticed, I
that's
just
awesome.
went to Veggie Grill the other day.
Oh, I love that place.
Oh, I love the vegan food. It's so good. And we complimented the cashier. We said something to her. I got a little emotional, and I wasn't flirting with her, but I was just kind of being comical with her. And I was treating a couple friends to lunch, and then I was going to buy us all like a drink there, but their teas are so delicious. And I'm not a cheap person, but I'm really budgeting a lot lately. And I'm like, do I want to blow like $7.50 on 3 drinks? You know, but they're so delicious. And the cashier's like, we'll just give you 3 drinks. And I think being emotional and complimenting her and interacting like he's suggesting,
Right.
like when you see something like, oh, that's awesome, I love this. When you do that for somebody else, they respond and reciprocate. So you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give this to you for free.
That's interesting.
Pam, you are an emotional person. That's just the bottom line. You can't not be.
So I need to function.
You need to validate that.
Right.
That's all. You have to stop thinking that I have to act someone who I'm not in the world.
Right.
If you're intense, you're intense. If you're loving and warm and quiet, you're loving and warm and quiet.
And that's how I am, though. I mean, I do embrace my emotions.
But you're and so I'm saying to you that your divorce has really affected this. So
It has.
you got to go back to bringing out who you are.
So you're saying I should be involved in an emotional line of work, correct?
Absolutely. Like acting, you can become an actress, you can get into running, you could get into working out, you can get into physical movement. But even if you wanted to have a career in which you were doing some type of film or theatrical work, yes, you could do that. And then in the future, as I was telling you before, you're a director. You're a director of operations. So you might even want to direct your own film.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And you know what? We live in LA, so this is the best place.
Wouldn't that be great? So I could act and direct.
Yes. You can get into acting and directing. And producing, yeah.
And producing.
Because you are good with people. The whole point is that you're very good at organizing people and structuring things, but you also have, it's all about physical movement also. So both using your physical movement, your talents of physical movement, and your talents of directing and delegating.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so, maybe in 10 years you could have a movie out there.
That would be
Or
great.
movies.
Right.
And you have, as I said before, you have writing skills, so you could even write a script.
I do. I have writing skills. And you're so right. My internal ingredients, I'm so emotional on every level.
Yeah.
I mean, I can function without the emotionals.
See, but the problem is sometimes, when people say, "Oh, I'm so emotional," they think drama queen.
They do,
but,
and I'm not that way.
But your power is your emotional power. That's your mantra.
My emotional power.
Your power. This is your affirmation. My power is my emotional power. And I'll give you your affirmation. This is what I feel. You repeat after me. This is what I feel.
This is what I feel.
And this is what I'm going to do about it.
And this is what I'm going to do about it.
That's your affirmation. That's your daily affirmation. This is what I feel. I didn't say this is what you think. This is what I'm thinking.
Feeling.
Yeah.
So
this is what I'm operating on your heart, your instincts, your emotions. Your intuitions. And if you do that 24/7, you'll be happy. And you'll make inroads in life. You'll move forward in your personal life and your career life. So if you're asking me, can you be successful as an actress? Of course you can. But it doesn't end there. You can also direct films.
Wow.
Do both.
Do both. Why not, right?
Exactly.
Wow. And love is very important. So everything I do, everyone I encounter is really of love.
Yeah. And by you expressing your feelings and emotions all the time, you will also attract people or even a future, let's say, partner in life, intimate partner. If you're expressing your emotions and your feelings all the time and you're releasing that, you'll also attract a partner or a relationship where that guy, he can also express his feelings and his emotions. If you don't express it, see, like attracts like.
Yes.
Whatever you say, as a New Ager say, whatever you send out into the universe comes back to you. Well, it's true.
Exactly.
They're right. So if you always see your job, so to speak, is to express your feelings and express your emotions and to release them. If you, it's not for them; it's for you.
Yes, correct.
So if you express your feelings and emotions, you'll attract people into your life that also can express their feelings and emotions.
Which is beautiful.
Yes. You don't need someone in your life that's emotionally unexpressive. You need the opposite. You need someone in your life that can express their feelings and talk about their feelings.
I think it's healthy to release your emotions, your feelings.
For you it is, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
For you it is, yes.
To function at a superior level.
Yes. So your power is your emotional power. So this is how I feel. You wake up every day or we're walking around the streets. This is how I feel. This is what I'm going to do about it. Operate on your instincts, on your spontaneous, still small voice within. Operate on that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You are, Vernon.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. It's very interesting. I've never had this done, so...
astrology and palmistry, what they are is just gives you insight into your life purpose. They're nothing to be feared. It gives you insight and awareness into who you are and how you should operate in life, what your life purpose is, what your challenges are, what your obstacles are, and then how to become successful.
And I can do this having no family, because I have no family at all. So that's
your kid.
Well, my son. Yeah. Oh, my son is everything.
Yeah.
So it's my son and I.
Yes. Exactly. And anybody that you work around, you work with, you work around
right,
Adam.
and your friends become your family.
Even going to a restaurant and say, I want this in this drink. Just being very honest and open.
Exactly. And that's the way I am when I go, if I have something very specific.
If someone says, how do you want this done? Oh, I want it done like this. I want more salt on it. I want this on it. I just want you to be this person. You're in your hand, it shows to me that you're a person who, if you just express your feelings and your heart, it will meet with excellent results.
Walking in your emotions.
Exactly. Because that's your power. That's your personal power. That's your strength. Other people their power is more logical and analytical. Other people's power is more something else. Your power is your emotional power. That's your personal power, your emotions. So if you hold them back, it's not going to work for you. You're going to be gloomy. You're going to be not in touch with yourself.
Right. Releasing emotions.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Vernon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of All That Matters with our special guest, Vernon Mahabal. To visit Vernon online, go to palmistryinstitute.com or check the link in the description below this video. Hey everyone, this is Adam with All That Matters. I want to recommend Chris Kong Computer Repair. With over 12 years of experience, Chris personally helped me tackle the tough problems that were causing my PC to crash. Whether you have a PC or a Mac and it's overheating, freezing, or you're seeing that dreaded blue screen of death, even virus problems, call Chris at 213-797-2748. Again, that's 213-797-2748. Only servicing the Los Angeles area.